have to reach the Empress before Corypheus. The only question is, how?
We know how. I have our way in. The real question is, where is our enemy hiding? At the urging of Grand Duchess Florian, the Empress is holding a ball. Absolutely everyone will be there. During the festivities, Celine will be meeting for peace talks with the usurper Duke Gaspard and Ambassador Briala.
The assassin must be hiding within one of these factions.
What do we know about Duke Gaspard?
The man who would have been Emperor. He's Celine's cousin, and was first in line to inherit the throne when Emperor Florian died. Celine outmaneuvered him. She won over the Council of Heralds, who hold authority over title disputes. She became Empress, and he a general in the Imperial Army. He's well loved by the troops. He's also a chevalier. Most of their number sided with him when he turned on the Empress.
Aren't the Chevaliers part of the army? Why would they follow the Duke?
Most chevaliers are sworn to serve the crown, but that does not give them faith in the person wearing it. The Empress has tried to improve relations with Ferelden and Navarra. The Chevaliers see her as anti-military. They believe Gaspard could lead the Empire back to the glory of Draken's expansion years.
Who is this Ambassador Briala?
An ambassador in name only. She has organized the elves of Halam Sharal into an underground army. The Empress invited her to the peace talks in a bid to gain the elves' alliance in the war. That would be scandal enough, without the rumor that Briala is a jilted lover of Celine's. A personal grudge and a network of saboteurs at her command. Promising lead.
Wait, the elven leader is a jilted lover of the Empress?
It's not widely known. Just a rumor whispered among the palace servants a few years ago. If it's true and were to get out, the Empress and an elf. The scandal could destroy Celine's court. Even if a lie, Briala could use it to blackmail the Empress. She has some connection to the throne.
Tell me everything we know about the Empress.
Empress Celine is a renowned diplomat and reformer. She works tirelessly to secure peace for the Empire. Unfortunately, many Orlesians view peace as complacency. She has yet to name an heir, leaving the future of the Empire in doubt if anything happens to her. Especially when the next in line is her cousin Gaspard, who's made few friends on the Council of Heralds.
Celine is surrounded at all times by countless guards, courtiers, servants, and vassals. What better place for an assassin to hide than the Empress's own household?
How can Gaspard still be next in line while he wages war against his Empress?
The title Grand Duke indicates that he was a prince before the Empress took the throne.
You've given me plenty to think about.
With Gaspard and Celine's armies entrenched, we cannot openly march troops to the palace.
My agents will ensure your soldiers get inside. But it must be a few at a time to avoid attention.
Understood. Just give the word, we'll begin.
The political situation in Halam Shiral hangs by a thread. The Empress fears our presence could sever it. The Grand Duke is only too happy to have us at the ball as his guests, so our invitation comes from him. Whether we act as his allies or upset the balance of power, he gains an opportunity, if not a clear advantage.
Inquisitor Adar, it is my great pleasure to meet you. Bringing the rebel mages into the ranks of your army was a brilliant move. Imagine what the Inquisition could accomplish with the full support of the rightful Emperor of Orlais.
I can see many benefits to such an alliance.
Keep the image firmly in mind. We may see it materialize by the end of the evening. I am not a man who forgets his friends, Inquisitor. You help me, I'll help you. Prepared to shock the Assembly by appearing as the guest of a hateful usurper, my lord? They will be telling stories of this into the next age.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Duke Gaspard. I look forward to ending this civil war.
As do I, my friend. The Empire needs stability and security, now more than ever. If you have the safety of the Orlesian people at heart, Inquisitor, perhaps you will look into something for me. This elven woman, Briala, I suspect that she intends to disrupt the negotiations. My people have found these ambassadors all over the fortifications. Sabotage seems the least of their crimes.
That sounds like something I should look into.
Be as discreet as possible. I detest the game, but if we do not play it well, our enemies will make us look like villains. We're keeping the court waiting, Inquisitor. Shall we?
Is that the Inquisitor?
An ox? Impossible.
That's not the Inquisitor. It's just somebody's pet.
Oh! Wait there! Whatever your name is, have you seen a ring? It is very important, and I need it back. It was a gift from the Countess Montbelliard, enchanted by the Fomari. I cannot go into the ball without it.
That's a terrible predicament.
If the Countess finds out, make her have mercy. Should you happen upon it, I beg you, let me know. Maker, what am I going to do if I cannot find my ring?
Is this the ring you were looking for?
You are a treasure! I cannot believe you found it. You have saved me a lifetime of mortification. How can I thank you enough?
I am not talking to you until we get home.
Are all the Delancey's here?
Maker, I hope not.
Foreigners. Any word from the front lines?
My spies said the bodies were beyond counting.
Surely the Empress will put an end to the war tonight.
Pray, my friend. If the Maker does not hear us now, just pray.
elves, always shirking their duties.
It's been too long since I've had any word from Valois. We can only hope Celine prevails tonight. Gaspard will ruin us all.
Inquisitor, a moment, if you please. I must warn you before you go inside. How you speak to the court is a matter of life and death. It is no simple matter of etiquette and protocol. Every word, every gesture is measured and evaluated for weakness.
I'll keep my guard up. Don't worry.
The game is like wicked grace played to the death. You must never reveal your cards. When you meet the Empress, the eyes of the entire court will be upon you. You are safer staring down Corypheus.
It might be a good idea for the others to hear this warning. The bull, in particular.
I'll have a few discreet words. Everything will be fine. Andraste, watch over us all.
Why are there so many elves here?
The Empress
To have
invited
this jacket let out a little.
If nothing else, the
How
Inquisition
could the
backing
Empress afford
Gaspard
to
would make
renovate the
Celine
palace
nervous.
without what
You
going
know how
on?
quiet. I heard that it wasn't renovations at all.
Interesting. Good to know.
Who does Orzammar favor in the negotiations?
King Aduke was considering going behind the Empress in hopes the trade in foodstuffs would resume quickly.
Is that the Inquisitor?
Interesting. Well, that's useful.
The guest wing is not open to the public at this time, Inquisitor.
It will take some time to get our men into the palace. I'll alert you when we're ready.
How can they call this a vestibule? It's a foyer.
Gaspard take the throne without the backing of the Council of Heralds?
He plans to take it by force. If the Council won't recognize him...
I wish there was more news coming from the
I heard
council.
Celine was having the entire
Good
wing
news is becoming an
redecorated.
increasingly rare
But the timing
commodity.
is atrocious.
Why would she do such a thing now? I had hoped to tour the Royal Wing Gardens again.
I have heard they are the finest in the Empire. It's such a pity the wing is sealed.
And now presenting Grand Duke Gaspard de Chalon, and accompanying him, Lord Inquisitor Adar. Vanquisher of the rebel mages of Ferelden, crusher of the vile apostates of the Mage Underground.
Remember to smile. This is all for show, my dear.
Champion of the Blessed Andraste herself.
Did you see their faces? Priceless.
Accompanying the Inquisitor, Madame Vivienne, First Enchanter of the Circle of Magi, Enchanter of the Imperial Court, Mistress of the Duke of Ghislaine, Lord Dorian Pavus, Member of the Circle of Arantium, son of Lord Magister Hallwood Pavus of Azariel, the Iron Bull, leader of the famed mercenary company Bull's Chargers, as the name might imply. Sir Callum Stanton Rutherford of Hunleaf, commander of the forces of the Inquisition, former Knight Commander of Kirkwall. Lady Liliana, Nightingale of the Imperial Court, veteran of the Fifth Blight, Seneschal of the Inquisition, and Left Hand of the Divine. And Lady Josephine Charette Montillier of Antiva City, Ambassador of the Inquisition.
Cousin, my dear sister.
Grand Duke, we are always honored when your presence graces our court.
Don't waste my time with pleasantries, Celine. We have business to conclude.
We will meet for the negotiations after we have seen to our other guests.
Inquisitor?
Lord Inquisitor, we welcome you to the Winter Palace. Allow us to present our cousin, the Grand Duchess of Leeds, without whom this gathering would never have been possible.
What an unexpected pleasure. I was not aware the Inquisition would be part of our festivities. We will certainly speak later, Inquisitor.
Your arrival at court is like a cool wind on a summer's day.
I'm delighted to be here, Your Majesty.
We have heard much of your exploits, Inquisitor. They have made grand tales for long evenings. How do you find Halam Shiral?
I have never seen anything to equal the Winter Palace.
We hope you will find time to take in some of its beauties. Feel free to enjoy the pleasures of the ballroom, Inquisitor. We look forward to watching you dance.
Inquisitor, a word when you have a moment.
Tell me, Yvette, how are Mama and Papa? Are they in good health? Do they want for anything?
Papa's perfectly happy in the studio. Mother is the same as always.
Meaning she's after you to do more work.
You always take her side.
I don't take her side. I happen to think, as she does, you might attend to more of the estate's duties.
Josephine! Oh, Josephine! Is this him?
Inquisitor, please allow me to present to you my younger sister, Yvette Gabriella Montillier.
Delighted to meet you, Lady Montillier.
Inquisitor, I've heard so much about you, but not as much as I want. Josephine writes, but she never tells me anything. Is it true? Rebel mages in Redcliffe were performing blood rites and orgies before you stopped them.
Where did you hear such nonsense?
Everyone in Antiva says so. Is it true?
Those stories are little more than wistful thinking, milady.
Oh, how dull Redcliffe must have been then.
Which power should the Inquisition throw its weight behind?
Celine has held the throne successfully for years. I see no profit in ousting her. Gaspard has run military campaigns, but never a kingdom. His transition would be, let us say, chaotic.
Tell me about yourself, Lady Yvette. This is the first time I've encountered any of Josephine's family.
She would forget to mention the artists. I've been studying painting under Antiva's royal tutors. You should be proud, Josie. I'm going to be exhibiting my work next season in the city's biggest salon.
Have you actually sat down and finished the painting yet?
I must wait for my inspiration.
And I must wait for your tutor's bills.
Enjoying the ball?
I see many of.
The dancing is so dull, Your Worship. But the Empress's gallery is magnificent.
Yvette.
Sorry, Josie.
Go on, Josephine.
Cafe Royal must be empty. So many of the Empire's finest are in attendance. They've noticed the Empress paying you special attention, but they don't quite know how to take advantage of it yet. This uncertainty won't last long, I'm afraid.
This may be my only chance to hear about when Josephine was a girl.
Oh, yes. As she told you about when she was 10 and...
Yvette, stop.
Fine. What about when we were climbing the cliffs by the...
No.
She once told the Duke of...
Absolutely not.
She still plays with her doll collection when no one's looking.
Yvette, that's absurd. Absolutely preposterous.
I'll see you later.
Another time.
Can you believe the Inquisition filled its ranks with apostates?
I heard the Inquisition was here.
And here we are. You haven't embarrassed yourself as much as I feared. Well done, my dear.
I've always wondered, what's the Orlesian fascination with masks?
We all wear masks, my dear, not just the people in Orlais. Who you are as a son, a lover, a friend, is not the same man who speaks for Andraste and leads the Inquisition. Orlesians codify this truth, make it visible. By giving each of these selves its own separate face, they believe they can be their truest selves, unmasked.
Anything happening I should know?
Strange that I haven't seen much of Grand Duchess Florian. One could always find her clinging desperately to the Empress's skirts before.
It seems like you enjoy this, Vivienne.
This is the game, Inquisitor. Of course I enjoy it. If I didn't, I'd be dead by now.
Any words of wisdom for navigating the ballroom?
Speak to the Council of Heralds. 6 of them are here tonight. The 7th member of the Council is indisposed. His absence will complicate the negotiations. The Council are the highest-ranking players of the game. They see everything. They might know something we can use.
You ready to act when I give the signal?
Always, my dear.
Laurent was the love of my life. Perhaps we can speak later, Inquisitor.
Did you just... Please, Inquisitor, did you need something? The sooner we track down this infiltrator, the better.
Do you have any advice?
Orlesian social events don't fall within my area of expertise. There are a few here we can trust. Be careful.
Who do you think the Inquisition should support?
Gaspard's claim to the throne is fair. Orlais needs someone capable of responding to the crisis at hand. A military-minded leader seems the best option.
You've attracted a following. Who are all these people?
I don't know, but they won't leave me alone.
I take it you're not enjoying yourself.
At this point, the headache I'm developing is preferable to the company.
Have you noticed anything out of the ordinary?
Not yet. It would be easier if people would stop talking to me. Other people. Not you.
We'll talk later.
I await your signal.
Is that him? Is it true the Inquisitor was headed out of the Fae by Andraste? We can only hope Celine prevails tonight.
Get these pastries out to the diplomats.
The Duchess has asked for too many. I can't
Have you
carry
heard
it.
from your nephew?
Not since his regiment joined the fighting.
Good. I was hoping I would catch you. What did the Duke say?
He points the finger at Ambassador Briala.
The ambassador is up to something, but she can't be our focus. The best place to strike at Celine is from her side. Empress Celine is fascinated by mysticism, foreseeing the future, speaking with the dead, that sort of rubbish. She has an occult advisor, an apostate who charmed the Empress and key members of the court as if by magic. I've had dealings with her in the past. She is ruthless and capable of anything.
How can Celine openly keep an apostate in the Imperial Court?
The Imperial Court has always had an official position for a mage. Before now, it was little better than court jester. Vivienne was the first to turn that appointment into a source of real political power. When the circles rebelled, technically every mage became an apostate. The word lost much of its strength.
That sounds exactly like the person we're looking for.
She's worth investigating. Can't be sure of anything here. Both leads point toward the guest wing. It's a promising place to start. I'll coordinate with our spies to see if I can find anything better. I will be in the ballroom if you need me.
We are not serving drinks. Order someone else.
in the guest wing. Upper room.
The one of the garden. Statuette.
Interesting. Well, that's useful.
Yes.
Waste of time.
Well, well, the Inquisitor. Here as a guest of my nephew, no less. I'm curious.
I didn't know the Grand Duke was your nephew.
He's my brother's eldest boy. Always a difficult child, Gaspard. Never listened, never did what he was told. He was raised a prince. All his life we told him he would be emperor. It was his destiny, his duty. What else should he do with his life if not fight for his destiny?
What can you tell me about the Civil War?
If you are hoping for insight, you've come to the wrong man. It's war. It is brutal, and terrible, and sometimes necessary. There's nothing more to say.
Another time, my lord.
You got anything that needs killing? Because the nobles keep messing with me, and they think I don't know they're doing it. This keeps up, I'm gonna wear somebody's skull as my fancy little mask.
Look at this with the eyes of a Ben Hasraf, and tell me what you see.
It's a mess. Everyone's trying so hard to hide that they're walking around in plumage. Makes it tough to spot the dangerous lies, as opposed to the normal stuff. Oh, but that couple over there with the silver masks? The woman's doing one of the nobles, and the guy's doing two different servants.
What do you think of the masks the nobles are wearing?
They're no good as disguises, and they don't cover the mouth or hide body language, so they're not much help for lying. As fashion goes, I don't know. I've seen dumber.
Anything catching your eye?
They've got these candied nuts with some kind of spice on them. It's sweet until you swallow, and then, bam! Hot. Also, Orlais has some fine-looking redheads. I go more for the servants personally. Less makeup. Nothing on the assassins, though.
Talk to you later, Bull.
I'll just stay here and eat.
You don't want to be here, stranger.
He hasn't made the pickup. It's been hours.
You went into the servants' wing. Nobody's come out of there all night.
I'll tell Brianna we have a situation.
Interesting. Might be something here. Better take a closer look. Well, well. What's this?
Maker, that wine stain is never coming out.
Philippe should have returned hours ago, dallying with some serving girl while I deal with Gaspard's vitriol.
I can't imagine Gaspard being vitriolic. What's the matter?
The Grand Duke bears a grudge against the Council for refusing him the crown. He's threatened death if they refuse him again, collectively and individually, along with their vassals. What backwater did you come from? Everyone knows that. Good evening, Inquisitor.
My lord! My lord Inquisitor!
May we have a word? It is very important.
The Empress has sent us with a message for you.
I am always honored to hear from Her Majesty.
Oh, she is the honored one, Inquisitor.
Empress Celine is eager to assist the Herald of Andraste in his holy endeavor.
She will pledge her full support to the Inquisition as soon as the usurper Gaspard is defeated.
Let me guess. All she wants in return is for me to help her defeat the Duke.
Oh, this is not meant as a bargain by any means, Inquisitor.
The support of the Empress is not conditional. It will be yours once the negotiations are concluded.
The Empress is the most skilled diplomat in Thedas. Gaspard is hopelessly out of his depth.
But we have taken enough of your time.
Please, enjoy the masquerade, Inquisitor.
Good evening, Inquisitor.
Does anyone really think the war will end tonight?
This is a private conversation.
You must be mistaken.
No, I'm quite certain it was blood on the tiles.
If they're playing the game, they're not doing it very well. You don't leave evidence if you play to win.
With Gaspard and that elf woman here, the only one playing to win is Celine.
Where has that servant gone? Elves, always shirking their duties.
This is all so familiar. I half expect my mother to materialize from the crowd and criticize my manners.
Is this how the elite of Tevinter carry on?
You could almost mistake this for a soiree in the Imperium. The same double-dealing, elegant poison canapes. It's lacking only a few sacrificial slaves and some blood magic. But the night is still young.
Have you seen anything I should know about?
Did you see what that Marquis is wearing? That suit is a greater crime than anything we're looking for.
What if your mother were actually here? Where would we be then?
Short one mage after he's dragged out by his earlobe.
I'm having difficulty picturing that.
Picture me a young boy of 5 years then. She certainly always has.
Try not to get too drunk while I'm gone.
You ask so much of me.
Interesting. Good to know.
Where has that servant gone? Elves, always shirking their duties.
Might be something here. Better take a closer look.
It's been too long since I've had any word from Valois. since I've had any word from Valois.
Gaspard is wasting his time. Nothing he does could win over the council.
Prince Ezio Valisi.
Lady Nightingale makes me nervous.
Keeping Rose.
I've an idea, Josephine. You should visit every family disguised as
It's been too long since I've had any word from Valois.
Look at Lady Cambien's slippers, trimmed with pearls and emeralds. And those buckles. Toss her into the lake and she'll sink right to the bottom. What a disaster.
There's a Tevinter assassin on the loose, and you're concerned about buckles on shoes.
Everyone needs a hobby. Besides, you can learn a great deal about a person from their clothing. Gold and jewels on a dancing slipper. A slipper is easily lost and finds itself in the dust and dirt. She is unconcerned with the possibility of losing the shoe or soiling it. A vulgar display of wealth. But Lady Cambien's family has recently lost most of its holdings. They have their title, but little else. So, how did Cambien acquire such a grand shoe, What has she done? Who has she bedded? These are all useful questions, no?
You're different here than in Skyhold. More approachable, perhaps.
This is Halam Shiral, Inquisitor. This is the Imperial Court. This is the beating heart of the Great Game. Of course, everyone is wearing a mask. I learned this very young. I was still a girl when I attended my first ball. All this, the smiles, the small talk, it is a dance. And like any dance, it can be learned. For some of us, it has become so familiar that the steps may be performed in our sleep.
What do you think the Inquisition should support?
What we need most of all is a stable Orlais. Either Celine or Gaspard can give us that.
I found this out. I'm not sure of its value.
Very interesting. It may not help our investigation, but we can put it to use. A little more dirt like this, and we might have some leverage in the court. If you find more, let me know.
I should go. Be on your guard.
I always am.
get these